Hello friends, I'm Dr. Anjali Bagrodia, postgraduate resident MAMC, and today I'm here with a quick revision of the topic general dermatology. I'm going to keep it short and just get a quick revision of it. And bear with my voice, I have a very bad cold. I can't do anything about it. So I'm going to cover it in following few subheadings. First will be structure, then the cells that are present, various adnexal structures, the primary and secondary lesions, and finally some points about wood slab. So first, coming on to skin. The skin consists of epidermis, dermis, and below it is the subcutaneous fat. The epidermis, it is a directly asked question. The epidermis, it consists of, it is made up of stratified squamous epithelium. Then comes the dermis, which is made up of connective tissue, and then the subcutaneous fat, which is composed of adipocytes, which are separated by fibrous tissue. Then first coming on to the epidermis, few points. The epidermis is thickest on the palms and soles, and it is thinnest on the eyelids. Then coming on to the structure of the epidermis, it consists of 5 layers. First, the topmost is the stratum corneum. And this question has been directly asked in AIMS November 2002. It is the layer which is less developed or ill developed in case of very low birth weight infants. Below this is the layer known as stratum lucidum. It is present in only palms and soles and not anywhere else. Then comes the stratum granulosum. As the name suggests, it has been named because of the presence of keratohyalin granules. Also, lamellar bodies or ode-land bodies, they are present in stratum granulosum. Below the stratum granulosum comes the stratum spinosum. And as the name suggests, they have been named spines because of the desmosomal connections that are present between keratinocytes in this layer. And this is the layer which is also known as prickle cell layer. The lowermost layer is the stratum basale. Here we have to remember that this is the layer where the active cells are there, and the time it takes for a cell to reach from stratum basale to stratum corneum is your turnover time. And just remember this, that this is 28 days or 4 weeks. This is very important. This has been asked many a times. And there are many cells which are present in this layer. Here, as you can see, it is the melanocyte, Merkel cell. Melanocytes are the ones that give color to your skin. Merkel cells are the touch receptors, and Langerhans cells are also present in this layer. They are the antigen presenting cells. Then you have to remember the epidermal melanin unit. I'll tell you, epidermal melanin unit 1:36. It means that one melanocyte provides melanosomes or gives it to 36 keratinocytes. This is the epidermal melanin unit. Then coming on to the adnexal structures, hair, nail, sebaceous glands, and sweat glands. Few points to remember about sweat glands. They are of two types, eccrine and apocrine. Just from the term E, remember that eccrine glands are the ones which are present everywhere. Okay, except they are absent on vermilion border of lips, labia minora, glans penis, inner pubes, and nail bed. Also, apocrine glands are the one which are present on areola, axilla, and perineum. Areola and axilla, remember with the A which is present in apocrine. Also, the eccrine glands, however, the name suggests that it opens directly on the skin, whereas the apocrine glands, they are the ones which open in hair follicles. And from A, just remember that the apocrine glands are the ones which have an adrenergic control, whereas the rest, that is the eccrine gland, has a cholinergic control. Various lesions that are present are divided into primary or secondary. Primary lesions are the one that develop first, after which secondary lesions develop. So you have to remember all of this. Questions are directly asked as to what is a flat lesion less than 0.5 centimeter known as. That is a macule. So first starting with macule, it is a flat lesion, as I've already told you, less than 0.5 centimeter, and if the lesion is 0.5 centimeter, it is known as a patch. However, now the term patch has been removed, and both less than 0.5 centimeter and more than 0.5 centimeter flat lesion is known as a macule. Then coming to papule. Papule is a solid raised lesion less than 0.5 centimeter. If more than 0.5 centimeter, it can be either plaque or a nodule. However, for nodule, it is said that it is better palpated than seen. So, it has a considerable depth. Then coming on to fluid-filled lesions. Clear fluid-filled lesions can be either vesicles or bulla. If the lesion is less than 0.5 centimeter, it is a vesicle. More than that is a bulla. A lesion containing pus is known as a pustule. Then coming on to wheal, it is a transient lesion that characteristically is present in case of urticaria. Then coming on to petechia and purpura, they develop due to RBC extravasation. And then we have some special lesions like burrow, comedon. Burrows, as we know, are present in scabies. Comedons, which can be both open and closed, which are formed due to keratin plugging of hair follicle. And then we have telangiectasia, which are dilated blood vessels. All of these three are special lesions. If at all in question it is asked, if first choice will be special lesion, if special is not given an answer, the second choice will be a primary lesion. Then whatever is left are secondary lesions. So secondary lesions, we have scales. Scales are formed due to exfoliation of cells. Then coming on to crust. A crust is formed due to exuded pus or serum exudates, excoriation or scratch marks, then lichenification. It consists of three things: a thickened skin along with increased skin markings and increased pigmentation. You have to remember all of the three features of lichenification. Then coming on to fissures. Fissures are linear cracks on the skin. Then ulcers and erosions are where the epidermis has been removed, or an erosion is more superficial than an ulcer. And atrophy is loss of skin, and scar is formed after the loss of tissue. Then coming on to Woods lamp examination. For several lesions, Woods lamp can be diagnostic, and we have to remember the specific colors in different type of diseases we get in Woods lamp. So in erythrasma, we have a coral red color. Then coming to vitiligo, the white patch which we see, milky white color it has. Then is pityriasis versicolor, which gives a faint yellow color. And in case of tinea capitis, you have to remember that in case of tinea capitis, not all tinea capitis is going to give you color. Only on Woods lamp, only grey patch type and favors are positive on Woods lamp. And there they give a bluish green or green fluorescence. Also, I forgot to tell you one thing here. You have to remember the sequence of the layers, the way they are arranged in epidermis. So from upwards to lower, just remember what used to happen to us many a times when we used to attend UG classes, especially for morning classes. We used to go late and then we used to come back because the gates were closed. So closed gate, so used to come back. So just remember that corneum, lucidum, granulosum, spinosum and basal, this is the layer, the sequence from upwards to downwards. And one more important point, in general dermatology, we also have many phenomenons and signs in dermatology, for which I have already made a separate video, which is very, very, very important. Many questions are asked from that video. So make sure after this video, you see that video also. So that is all for today. Thank you.